Hi, it's Maggie with Golden Lights Within, and today I'm back with a video, and this is just about some new purchases that I made. Very, not very expensive, nothing crazy, but I thought it would be kind of fun to just go over like the main things that I use at night to help keep things as dark as possible. And I've talked about in other videos, right? So just as the light during the day is important for our health, getting that light during the daytime hours, it's also important, equally as important, that it's very dark at night and we're not getting like sources of light all night. So I got a few things that are going to help me with that. So first of all, I'm not bringing them over, but I have blackout curtains. So highly recommend investing in some blackout curtains. They really do help just block out that light, especially if you're just, if you're out in the country, amazing. You're not probably getting like street lights and things like that, but I definitely am. And so, I have to be a little bit more vigilant about what to do to keep that light out. So I got some Velcro, just some like good old-fashioned Velcro. So what I noticed, and basically my curtains, blackout curtains, will kind of like open up and like light will still come through. And just because I take it very seriously, I just got some Velcro and I can just Velcro the curtains together and no big deal, right? So then the light is not coming through anymore. So I just noticed like they would be kind of like they kind of open up sometimes throughout the night. And so that's just something I purchased, I don't know if that applies to you, right? But, if you do notice you have some openings and things like that, you can makeshift that. I don't know that it will be the most visually appealing. I'll probably try to hide them a little bit, but I just got it last night. So that part I didn't get figured out before I went to bed. The other thing I got is I also have light coming in from like below my door. So basically, in order to help with that, what I got is this. Again, I mean, if you're looking for like home decoration, I may not be your girl, but if you want a good light and dark environment, I am your girl. But this basically goes under the door. There's like, it's literally just foam inside of this, and then you slide it under your door. So you could like take it off during the day, right? You don't have to, when you're sleeping, right? It's not a big deal. So I just slide it under, and then I don't get any light from like underneath my door. So just for reference, I'm in an apartment, so I'm just getting like a lot of light, like so in like the living space. And so even if I keep my bedroom, if I do all the things right, like the blackout curtains and things, there's still just like light getting through. And, maybe I take this more seriously than the average person, but I also don't like think it's like a big deal to get something like this and throw it underneath and block out that light. So I definitely do notice I sleep better when I can keep it completely dark. So that is something that I use. And, I don't have it with me, but I mentioned it in others. Sleeping masks are great too. That wasn't a new purchase of mine, but those are helpful. Personally, for me, I have like a silk one. And personally for me, most mornings I wake up with it off. So I don't think I like keep it on. I mean, I don't have like this like fancy one maybe that stays on your head better, but obviously like I don't, pull it off at some point in the night. So I don't know how long it's helpful for, right? So the other thing that I got, and this is actually paper for like photography, but the color is called Fire. And I will link these things. I'll make a little free PDF with links to these things if you're curious. But this paper, you can, again, not aesthetically pleasing, you can cut little pieces of it and place it over like sensors and things like that. So that way, like your fire alarm, you can still see, that it's on, that it may need to be checked. Like you're still gonna see the light. It's just, this puts a little filter over it. So it's not like the bright green or blue in your room or whatever. So if you think about, like the lights, like the clock on your microwave or oven, you know, it's usually that green. Just different sensor buttons are usually like a bright blue or green, so you can just, you know, cut this red filter and like tape it over. You could probably use double stick tape, would maybe look a little bit nicer, but I'm just like messing around with it. And you know, I don't know. Again, this is not a home interior channel at all, so bear with me. But I'll just kind of show you what it looks like. So you can just cut little pieces. And I have an idea of what I'm gonna use this, try using this for something in my car, so stay tuned for an episode about that. But it just looks like this red paper. So, like a red filter. So again, it doesn't just like, it's not just like adhesive, right? So you have to tape it or do something like that. But I don't know. I feel like for sensors, it's not like a big deal. You just tape a little piece over. I know like baby monitors, you know, can have that blue light and stuff. So if you're just going crazy with it like me, just why not? I think this was like 11 bucks for this entire big sheet. Like it's like a pretty large sheet. As you can see, I've already cut out some little pieces at the bottom. But just wanted to share these things that I got that are helping me keep my bedroom dark. I hope it helps, and I will catch you in the next Golden Lights Within video.